Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today I wanted to attempt the 0-kill challenge in Battlefield 4. The way it works is pretty simple. I need to reach to the top of the scoreboard, but the twist on it is that I cannot kill a single enemy in the process. I did something very similar to this in the past, about a year ago. I played on Operation Metro, I sat behind the front lines, and then just revived everyone that died every couple of seconds. And somehow, by doing that for about an hour, I was able to reach the top of the scoreboard without getting a single kill. It was very gratifying. I was very satisfied with myself back then, but I realized that I kinda cheesed my way through this challenge. Operation Metro, while I know a lot of people love it to generate points, it's not necessarily a true large-scale battlefield map, and so I wanted to take it to the next level and complete it on a much larger scale. And so for the first couple of hours, it really just came down to me trying to figure out what map would work with this. I tried out Gold Railways, Flood Zone, and while I had a moderate amount of success on those, I was getting to like the 3rd or 4th position, I could never reach that #1 spot. Then I thought, hey, you know what, let's try out the new community map. The one thing I knew that I needed to do to be able to be successful with this challenge was capture objectives like it's my job. If you're not aware, with this most recent update, DICE has increased the incentive for you to take these objectives. If you're playing Conquest and you were sitting on the objective as soon as it captures, you get a solid 400 points. And so I knew if I joined a map which had a lot of ebb and flow, where both teams were constantly going back and forth capturing and defending objectives, that if I sat on those and I was lucky enough to be on a majority of them, that point accumulation would rise me to the top and get me to that #1 slots. And so the reason why the community map appealed to me was that, first of all, it has a lot of cover. Because I can't retaliate, because I can't shoot at the enemy or risk taking someone out, I needed to rely on my stealth to be able to get me from point A to point B. There's a lot of things to hide behind in the new community map. You have the foliage, there's a ridiculous amount of foliage, more than we have on any other map. There's an insane amount of buildings, and so for the most part, at least from a stealth standpoint, I thought this would be a perfect map for this challenge. The biggest thing that, of course, that I had to overcome with this, though, was that I could not kill my enemies. When I initially started this challenge, I thought that I could just be super sneaky and stealthy and go around and flank and backcap the enemy. And while every once in a while I was successful in doing it, because it takes a significant amount of time to be able to capture these points by myself, usually I would get almost to the point where I would neutralize the objective, and then 2 people would spawn on in, and I would have no way of taking them out. And so I really quickly learned that I need to play with my teammates and push with my teammates onto the capture points if I wanted to be successful. This actually resulted in some highly entertaining moments. There were times when I was behind enemy lines, I was with my squad, and of course, because I could only spot and heal and revive, I was running around with my head chopped off, trying not to get taken out by the enemy, who was pretty much touching me. Like, there were times when there was like 2 enemies directly next to me, and I was just doing my best to revive, keep my teammates up, so that we could slowly whittle down the enemy team. Somehow it worked. I don't know how it worked. I don't know if it was dumb luck or if the enemy just didn't know what was going on, but somehow we were eventually able to take out the enemy and secure these objectives. All this reviving and teamwork, though, came with a frustrating price on one of my rounds. I was at the top of the scoreboard. I was sitting pretty. I was about 1,000, 2,000 points above all of my teammates, even the enemy team. I was doing amazing. And then when I was charging up my paddles to revive one of my teammates that I thought was going to die very quickly because he's kind of out in the open playing like an idiot, I charged them up and then I got knifed. There is a glitch in Battlefield, or maybe this is by design, I don't know, maybe DICE wants this to be in the game, but when you have your paddles fully charged and an enemy goes for the knife on you, you instantly kill that person who was trying to take you out. This was the only kill that I had the entire round. I didn't even want it. I wasn't trying to kill him. I wasn't trying to go for the defib kill, but because there was this bug in the game, I had that 1 kill at the end of the round, and I was doing good. Look at that score. I was way above the competition. And so I thought to myself, okay, I guess I could make the video and be like, all right, guys, I kind of failed. I suck, I know, but at least I got way up there. That 1 kill really didn't add any to my point value. I guess I kind of completed that challenge. Deep down, though, I knew this wasn't gonna fly. If I posted a 0-kill challenge and got a single kill, like, that's not acceptable. Like, it just wasn't acceptable for my standards, and hopefully it wouldn't be acceptable for your standards. And so a couple hours later, I was on the community map once again, doing well. I was at the top of the scoreboard, and then halfway through the round, I was driving around in a Jeep. Admittedly, I was going too fast. I was going in an area where I couldn't see too much of what was in front of me because I was in third-person mode, and then a random enemy just kind of popped out and I ran him over. I immediately left that round. I was like, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. I'm done. I can't handle this. I've already spent hours upon hours trying to complete this challenge. I'm gonna make a video and just talk about how absurd this is. The very next day, though, when I had some time to cool down, that nagging feeling returned. I was like, all right, fine. God damn it. We're going to do one more round. If I fail, we'll fail. We'll just move on to something else. But if I do it, fantastic. That was the round where I was successful in getting that 0 solid kills at the top of the scoreboard, and it felt glorious, especially since all of the other absurdities happened before that. And so I guess the moral of today's story is play the objective like it's your job. Imagine how many points I would have been able to accumulate by the end of the round if I was able to retaliate and shoot at my enemies. It would have been a night and day difference. And so if you have that same mindset that I had, where I was just bum rushing the enemy as constantly as I could, getting on there and securing it for my team, imagine how many points that you can get and what it's going to do to your point value. The one critique that I do have for DICE, though, is that while I love the change to the 400 points, I think that's incredible. I think that's a great step in the right direction. There isn't much incentive to defend these objectives. When I was playing a normal round, I noticed that I was only getting like 25 extra points for defending the objective. It's like, okay, that's nice, but I would be better off to let the enemy come on in, secure it, or at least neutralize it, then swoop on in, take it, and then capture it back for myself. And while I guess you could say that is defending it, you really don't want the point to be neutralized. If the enemy neutralizes it, then you're not going to have any reinforcements, and that just isn't good team play. And so I don't know how DICE could effectively do this. Maybe they just need to increase how many points that you get for killing an enemy while they're taking the objective, but I think something needs to be done. Offense is great. I think that's awesome, a great step in the right direction, but they could also do something on the defensive side as well. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's challenge. I hope you enjoyed. Personally, I'm glad that I did this just so that I could demonstrate that it's possible even to be able to do something like this in Battlefield 4, especially with the most recent patch. And while, yeah, there was some frustrating moments getting kills when I wasn't even trying to get kills, just in general, this was a lot of fun. But yeah, until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.